Hello future officers, welcome to VicThree IAS. मैं हूं अनमोल शर्मा and in the last video we talked about what are the essential NCERTs, the only ones that you should be focusing to create a solid foundation for your UPSC journey. आज हम बात करेंगे कि NCERTs के बाद क्या करना है, which books to study, how to study them, and we'll be talking about the advanced or the reference books of each major subject, and most importantly we'll talk how to avoid drowning in a long confusing book list. So let's get started. So while the NCERTs give you the basics, they provide conceptual clarity. The reference books, they are needed for detailed in-depth knowledge, exam oriented knowledge about the subject. These reference books, they are written keeping in mind the exam syllabus and exam pattern, and they help you immensely. Or other than that, when you look at the questions in prelims and mains, they are a mix. Mostly they are a mix of current affairs and static knowledge. And for the static knowledge, these reference books form an indispensable source for your preparation. So that is why these reference books are important. But what's important is that you don't overburden yourself with these reference books. One reference book per subject is more than enough. Rather than referring to more than one reference books or multiple books, what you need is consistency with that book. Not that you study some chapters from one book and other chapters from the other book. You need to be consistent with that book. You need to understand there should be conceptual clarity in what is written in the book and repeated revisions. And if you do that with one single book, that is more than enough. You do not need 2 or 3 reference books per subject. Remember, you have to study 10, 12, 15 subjects. You cannot stick to one subject and multiple reference books per subject. That would overburden your preparation, and in the end that will make you feel exhausted in your preparation. So talking about the concise topper approved book list, when we talk about polity, as we all know, Lakshmikant is more than enough. Moving to modern history, again you might know Spectrum. Spectrum's A Brief History of Modern India by Rajahir. That is it is a concise book but very important book. For ancient and medieval history, you stick to the old NCERTs by R.S. Sharma and Satish Chandra. You can easily find them online. They are filled with details. You don't need any specific reference book for that. Those old NCERTs are more than enough for these two subjects, for ancient and medieval history. Along with that, you can complement your information or complement the knowledge with the tests that you give of ancient and medieval history. Any new information that you might find in the tests or in the test solutions, you can add to your existing notes of ancient and medieval history. For geography, again a time tested book, G.C. Leong. That's a very important and a sufficient book for geography. It consists physical geography and human geography. For economy, you can either refer to Ramesh Singh, that's all in one book, or you can refer to the economic notes of any major institute that more or less covers everything. Economics is more applied in nature, less of static part, so conceptual clarity is more important there rather than just mugging up facts and figures. For environment as we know, increasingly becoming important in the prelims and mains both. For that, you can refer to again the environment booklet by Shankar IAS. And talking about art and culture, see, you can either go for Nitin Singhania, but I personally find Nitin Singhania to be a very text heavy book, something that is nearly impossible for a new aspirant to cover. You would get tired in just a few chapters. So for art and culture, again, the NCERT that I mentioned in the previous video, which is the class 11th NCERT related to art and culture, you can go through that. Again, complement or supplement your notes from the book with the test series solutions or with the tests. Any new information जो आपको test में मिले, you can add to your existing notes. Know that there is no comprehensive book that can cover all the aspects of art and culture comprehensively. So you need to keep that in mind. When it comes to science, for biology, I referred a class 12 biology book, especially chapters 13 to 16. But general science के लिए, especially for somebody who is not from a science background in school, वो 6 to 12th या 6 to 10th की NCERTs recommend की जाती है to understand or to get a general idea to form your basics. But you don't have to read all the chapters. NCERT book wise from 6 to 10th, what all chapters you need to study and what all to skip, I have mentioned in the description box. You can refer to that. You can only read those chapters from 6 to 10th NCERTs. And again, science की बात करें तो it's becoming more applied in nature, whether it's prelims or mains. So you need to complement or supplement your knowledge with the current affairs. जो भी करंट अफेयर्स हो रहे हैं, से इंडिया ने कोई इंडिजिनस मिसाइल टेक्नोलॉजी क्रिएट की है, सो दैट बिकम्स पार्ट ऑफ योर सिलेबस. सो दैट बिकम्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. तो आपको ये मंथली मैगजीन्स जो करंट अफेयर्स में आती हैं, या फिर करंट अफेयर्स इफ यू आर गोइंग थ्रू द न्यूज़पेपर, यू नीड टू continuously update your science and tech notes with the current affairs there. So now we'll discuss how to read these reference books effectively. इतनी बल्कि बुक्स हैं, हर एक सब्जेक्ट की एक एक बुक है, कैसे उसको पढ़ना चाहिए without spending too much time on each book. That is, go chapter by chapter. First most important thing is take one subject at a time. अगर आप पॉलिटी का लक्ष्मीकांत उठाते हैं तो लक्ष्मीकांत को खत्म करके ही आप जीसी लियोंग पे जाओ. नॉट दैट 2-3 घंटा ये पढ़ लिया, 2-3 घंटा ये पढ़ लिया, दोनों में से आपका कुछ भी ठीक से कवर नहीं होगा. तो स्टिक टू वन सब्जेक्ट एट अ टाइम. फर्स्ट टाइम व्हेन यू गोइंग थ्रू द सब टॉपिक, मान लो पॉलिटी का आप फंडामेंटल राइट्स पढ़ रहे हो, तो just in the first reading, don't try to memorize or don't try to write it down. Just go through the chapter once, try to understand the concepts, and when it is done once, in the second reading, now you will be familiar with the terms, now you will be familiar with the format of the chapter. Then pick up your pen and I would suggest create your own notes. Highlight mat karo, क्योंकि बल्कि बुक्स हैं, यू विल कीप flipping through the pages, लास्ट मोमेंट पे बहुत ज्यादा कंफ्यूजन हो जाएगी. इन्वेस्ट सम टाइम राइट नाउ, क्रिएट योर नोट्स, उसके बाद जस्ट कीप द बुक असाइड. गो थ्रू द नोट्स, रिविजन 2 to 3 टाइम्स अपने नोट्स की ही करो. उससे क्या है, सिंस इट्स हैंड रिटन बाय यू और क्रिएटेड बाय यू डिजिटली, you would be more familiar with that. Easy to remember, easy to memorize, and it would be very helpful, especially after the prelims or in the last few months before the prelims, to quickly revise and recall everything, all the topics related to a subject. Secondly, there are certain topics like science and tech, ecology, पॉलिटी, इन सब में करंट अफेयर्स के साथ अपने नोट्स को अपडेट करते रहना. दे आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Static alone would not work, even economy. So it's very important to keep updating with the current affairs. And most importantly, if you are still confused, reference books से भी आपको कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा है, तो don't hesitate. Make use of Google, make use of YouTube. Everything is very well explained on YouTube. You can find everything there. Or you can go to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a little less reliable when it comes to certain facts or figures, but again, it can save you a lot of time if you study smartly. In the coming videos, I'll also make a video of how to use AI or ChatGPT to prepare for UPSC. So अब हम बात करेंगे the common and the most crucial mistakes that you need to avoid while studying these reference books. Number one again would be going for more than one or multiple reference books. लाइब्रेरी गए या किसी टॉपर को सुन लिया कोई रेफरेंस बुक, आपने आधी अपनी छोड़ के, पॉलिटी लक्ष्मीकांत छोड़ के कोई और पकड़ ली, बिकॉज somebody else is studying it or somebody else got results from it. If you have covered your one reference book comprehensively, you have given multiple revisions to it, nothing can beat that. One well revised reference book beats raw reading of 5 reference books any day. And even all the toppers, they focus more on consolidation. Consolidating on limited sources is more important than just expanding your book list, getting trapped by the fear of missing out or FOMO. So trust one reference book and move to another reference book only if you absolutely can't understand a topic. So your action plan for today is to finalize that book list for yourself. Again, I would suggest keep one reference book, that is more than enough per subject, and make a schedule of which book you will be starting first. Complete that book, only then move to the other book. Stay loyal to that book and it will stay loyal to you during the exam. And another thing you can do, another hack is you can use the test series, the solutions of the test series, to complement your existing notes. एक टेस्ट सीरीज में these institutions, they refer to multiple sources, multiple reference books. They find out the unusual topics, the topics that are not covered in the other reference books. 70, 80, 90% तो सेम ही नॉलेज है हर रेफरेंस बुक में. 10-12%, 10-20% जो डिफरेंट है, they find that and they put them in the test series. So you prepare smart, you straight away go for these tests and figure out क्या क्या पार्ट्स आपके उस एक पर्टिकुलर रेफरेंस बुक में कवर्ड नहीं थे, या समथिंग that is new information, and just add it to your notes. That is how you prepare smartly without wasting time or spending time on multiple reference books. You straight away refer to the test series as your source for any new information or any additional information. An elaborate video of how to effectively utilize these tests for your UPSC preparation I will make very soon. So make a book list and start today. So did that simplify things for you? Which standard book do you plan to read first? Drop your comment down below. So if you found this video useful, please like the video and subscribe to our channel, because more videos in the UPSC beginner series are coming. In the next video, we will be covering how to study current affairs or how to cover current affairs for UPSC effectively without getting lost or wasting time. So till then, keep it simple, stay consistent, you'll go far. All the best.